Peace for Ukraine or you reign now. Russia, just go home.
In a letter to respected COP21 world leaders in Paris, France in 2015, Supreme Master Ching Hai urgently advised them to implement vegan law as the solution to mitigate global warming. The letter reads as follows. Respected COP21 world leaders Paris, my special salute and best wishes to all of your distinguished, honoured ladies and gentlemen who have gathered in Paris for the protection of our world. This is just a reminder that just paying money alone cannot save lives, but being vegan does. A lot of evidence and information about this for you to consider are in the book From Crisis to Peace, free online at crisis2peace.org. Countless lives in the present and future, including yours and your children's future, children of your children's, are in your hands. Save them by voting for and implementing vegan law to stabilize the climate. Otherwise, lives on Earth will perish and we will be committing a graver offense than all the acts of killing and wars combined. With all love in God, yours most sincerely, Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Vegan. Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Наші програми пропонуються на багатьох мовах. Будь ласка, завітайте suprememastertv.com/schedule.
As long as the animal people meat industry continues, such viruses will continue to be born. After this one, we will have the next and the next and the next, as the experts have warned us long ago. The animal people livestock industry must be closed. And to do that, we must be vegan.
Pharmaceutical pollution and superbugs, a threat to humanity. Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
I leave animals off my plate because doing so means I can save 7,000 lives in my lifetime. I'm vegan because I want to tread lightly on our precious planet, the only one we have. Chris Carr, vegan.
Nata Yesayats, wise viewers, is how you say, "What is your name?" in the Oneida language. My name is Cody. The lovely Oneida people wish for the spiritual enlightenment of all beings. May they be shielded from harm and nurtured in their spiritual journey in heaven's protection. Welcome to our show, Pharmaceutical Pollution and Superbugs, a Threat to Humanity, Part 2 of 2. In part 1 of the series, we learned how disease causing bacteria, parasites, viruses, and fungi, when exposed to antimicrobial drugs for long periods, can mutate and become resistant to these drugs. As a consequence, many infectious diseases that formerly were easily treated are now becoming difficult to control. On today's program, we'll learn more about this concerning issue.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
The number of antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, superbugs has gone from relatively rare to causing thousands of deaths. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, more than 2.8 million antimicrobial resistant infections occur each year in the USA, causing more than 35,000 deaths. Superbugs are especially dangerous for children because young people's natural immune systems are not yet fully developed. A study from Case Western Reserve University in Ohio, USA, on more than 10,000 child patients showed that superbugs have increased by 700% in only 10 years. Antimicrobial resistant superbugs make it increasingly difficult to control even common infectious diseases. For example, ringworm, a highly contagious skin disease caused by a type of fungi, has existed for many years. Formerly, ringworm was easily cured with a microbial topical cream. However, in 2022, the CDC confirmed that 2 patients in the United States had contracted a new drug-resistant strain of ringworm. The disease caused lesions on the patient's necks, abdomen, thighs, and buttocks, and their family members were also infected. Professor David Denning, Chief Executive of the Global Action Fund for Fungal Infections, or GAFI, says, "For 2 decades, we have been treating these infections with oral terbinafine for 3 weeks very successfully until this new fungal species arrived." Professor Denning adds that a substantial global increase in skin infections could occur due to the growing number of AMR superbugs and the effects of climate change. He warns that the world is not yet prepared for what could become a global epidemic. Another frightening example of the consequences of AMR superbugs occurred recently in the USA. In early 2023, an outbreak of an infectious eye disease occurred due to a new strain of antimicrobial resistant Pseudomonas aeruginosa bacteria. These bacteria were discovered in a brand of eye drops that had been contaminated during the manufacturing process. According to the CDC, of the 81 people who were infected, 4 people died and 14 others lost their vision. Many medical experts agree that the ever-increasing number of antimicrobial resistant superbugs could create a medical nightmare.
If we take the worst-case scenario, that of a super high level of resistance, and we don't have new antibiotics, then everyone will be susceptible to an infection, which has been treated with natural antibiotics for 30 years. But in 20 to 25 years, there will be no effective antibiotics.
Make peace now. Any country has some to offer for the wellness of our world. Please, destroy your madness, not our beautiful, loving earth.
Some experts suggest that if antibiotics are no longer effective, extreme measures such as limb amputation might be required to stop bacterial infections. Why are we experiencing this ever-growing problem of antimicrobial resistance? Most experts agree that the primary cause of antimicrobial resistance is the overuse of antibiotics in both humans and animal people. However, the overuse in humans is not the main problem because humans account for only a small percentage of antibiotics usage. The majority of antibiotics are used in raising animal people livestock.
With thousands of animals crammed together in filthy conditions, factory farms are the perfect breeding grounds for bacteria. Chickens, pigs, and fish suffer in some of the most unhygienic conditions that farms inflict on animals. Antibiotics are used to treat sick animals, but the spread of disease is so common that many farms now put antibiotics in the animals' food or water supply. This means that entire sheds of animals are being dosed with antibiotics, whether they are sick or not. This is known in the industry as prophylactic dosing. It's legal, routine, and it's happening more and more.
On the farm, most people are surprised to learn that they'll give antibiotics even without a prescription or limited veterinary oversight to healthy animals.
Over half of the world's antibiotics are given to animals in food production systems. In some countries, it's as high as 80%.
Vegan, for a peaceful and benevolent world.
We'll take a moment to thank the divine for the healthcare workers who tirelessly protect the well-being of those in their care. We'll be right back after this message.
Russia, go home now.
Kind-hearted viewers, welcome back to Pharmaceutical Pollution and Superbugs, a Threat to Humanity, Part 2 of 2. The ever-growing number of antimicrobial-resistant bacteria is mainly due to the decades-long practice of feeding antibiotics to animal people raised in overcrowded, unhygienic factories. When these animal people are slaughtered, the animal people meat is often filled with antimicrobial-resistant bacteria.
Multi-drug resistant bacteria can spread from animals to humans through the food chain. Recent studies show that bacteria potentially capable of causing serious human infections can be found in chicken, turkey, pork, and beef.
How concerned should people be about the drug-resistant superbugs found in animal people meat? Does this occur frequently? Let's take a look at some scientific evidence from around the world.
A recent study shows that nearly 80% of the meat in U.S. supermarkets contains antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
The majority of meat in supermarkets contain superbugs. So antibiotic-resistant bacteria were found on 79% of ground turkey samples, 71% of pork chops, 62% of ground beef, and 36% of chicken. I mean, this is a serious problem that needs to be addressed by our regulatory agencies.
Make peace now. Your gifted life, has it been in vain? Do something now in deep repent. Just go enjoy all your privilege. Pray God, and to even hell devils, to spare you pain.
In a study published in the National Library of Medicine, scientists in Kenya analyzed hundreds of samples of chicken and pig people meat purchased from the country's leading retail outlets. Their results showed that 98.4% of the pig folk meat and 96.6% of chicken individual meat contained high levels of antimicrobial resistant pathogens. In Australia, researchers conducted a similar study.
In total, we collected 404 meat samples, so 244 chicken and 160 pork samples.
The meat was bought across New South Wales and the ACT from Coles, Woolworths, Aldi and IGA supermarket chains. The report found that of the 33 types of bacteria isolated from the samples, all except one had some form of resistance to antibiotics.
The high level of antimicrobial resistance, multiple drug resistance, and the fact that we isolated so many bacteria that were predicted to be pathogenic towards humans is quite alarming.
Some might argue that, even though animal people meat contains antimicrobial resistant superbugs, these bacteria can be killed if it's cooked thoroughly and at high enough temperatures. However, even then, the superbugs could still cause infection.
When you're trying to wash a chicken, your hands can become contaminated with resistant bacteria that come from the chicken. If the hands are not washed, and then a lettuce is cut, then resistant bacteria from the chicken is transmitted to the lettuce, and the lettuce is eaten directly.
Stand with Ukraine! 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 Stand with Ukraine!
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Perhaps the biggest threat to global health is zoonotic diseases, infectious diseases that are transferable from animal people to humans. It is estimated that up to 75% of new or emerging infectious diseases are zoonotic in origin. COVID-19, avian flu, salmonellosis, and the Ebola virus are all examples of zoonotic diseases. Another emerging zoonotic disease that's resistant to antibiotics is MRSA, or methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. MRSA bacteria have existed for many years in pig folk. However, in a recent study, Cambridge University scientists discovered that a new strain of MRSA has emerged that's highly resistant to antibiotics. Dr. Gemma Marie, the lead author of the study and senior research fellow at Cambridge University, says, historically high levels of antibiotic use may have led to the evolution of this highly antibiotic-resistant strain of MRSA on pig farms. What is even more concerning, however, is that the scientists also discovered that this new strain of MRSA can jump from pig individual to humans. While usually benign in pig people, MRSA can be deadly for humans. In 2019, approximately 100,000 people globally died from MRSA. The World Health Organization, or WHO, now considers it to be one of the most severe threats to global health.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Venezuela is one of them.
Venezuela. Law for the protection of free and captive domestic fauna. It is illegal to overwork, harm, or kill animal people. Violators may be arrested for 8 to 45 days and punished with fines.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
What can we do to overcome the growing number of AMR pathogens in animal folk? Our most gracious Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, has frequently spoken about the many disastrous consequences of raising animal people livestock, including infectious diseases. She says that the problem has only one solution: a global shift to the vegan lifestyle.
Avian flu, tuberculosis, listeria, Crohn's disease, mad cow disease, Campylobacter, Staphylococcus aureus, etc., etc. And now we have its more dangerous form called MRSA, namely methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. It's a superbug, meaning there is no antibiotic to cure it. So these diseases arose because we overbreed animal people and create the conditions for the diseases to form and spread. As long as the animal people meat industry continues, such viruses will continue to be born. After this one, we will have the next and the next and the next and the next. And one of them will be even worse than we can imagine now, and more deadly, as the experts have warned us long ago. The animal people livestock industry must be closed. And to do that, we must be vegan.
Our deepest gratitude goes to Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, for sharing her wisdom about the root cause of all diseases. May all people quickly adopt the noble, compassionate vegan lifestyle for the health and safety of all beings.
Vegan side effect. Get on with new robust health.
Much loved viewers, thank you for joining us today. Up next is Positive Changes in Countries, Part 53 of a multi-part series, Commendable Governments, Commendable Citizens, San Marino, Sao Tome and Principe, and Saudi Arabia. May you be inspired to find an enlightened spiritual master and follow their teachings.
In a letter to respected COP21 world leaders in Paris, France in 2015, Supreme Master Ching Hai urgently advised them to implement vegan law as the solution to mitigate global warming. The letter reads as follows. Respected COP21 world leaders Paris, my special salute and best wishes to all of your distinguished, honored ladies and gentlemen who have gathered in Paris for the protection of our world. This is just a reminder that just paying money alone cannot save lives, but being vegan does. A lot of evidence and information about this for you to consider are in the book From Crisis to Peace, free online at crisis2peace.org. Countless lives in the present and future, including yours and your children's future, children of your children's, are in your hands. Save them by voting for and implementing vegan law to stabilize the climate. Otherwise, lives on Earth will perish and we will be committing a graver offense than all the acts of killing and wars combined. With all love in God, yours most sincerely, Supreme Master Ching Hai. Vegan.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven, Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.